Well, how about that? England dominating and giving the nation not only something to cheer with an outstanding performance and 4 goals, but also a largely stress-free evening. I trust you enjoyed it at home. Not bad, Alan.
Not bad. Something special is happening, Gary. We started the tournament slowly. We're improving in every game. My head is telling me to calm down, but my heart is getting carried away. And long may that continue. What a performance, what a night. So many special performances. Sancho, Sterling, Shaw. How good was Luke Shaw? Harry Kane scoring, Maguire, Henderson scoring. It's endless. Really, really positive. Well done, Gareth. Well done, England.
Spot on again, Frank.
Yeah, at this level of football, regardless of the opposition, because, you know, you can talk about Ukraine, but what you're asked to do is do a job, and we did every bit of that job today right. We ticked every box, individual performances, collective performance, mentality of the team, subs that come on, minutes of players that are part of this squad and important, that needed minutes of themselves. So Gareth will sit there and say, wow, what an evening. And of course now you have to fight possibly overconfidence, but it's a time for us to get excited after that, and it's time for them to keep their heads down and keep concentrating.
Ukraine players applauding their fans for coming to support them. Not much for them to cheer this evening. Rio, you said you've never been more confident of an England team prior to this game going through, and well, you were right.
Yeah, and even more confident now. I think the biggest compliment I can give this side and Gareth and his team is that I've never ever seen an England team so composed, under such pressure, with so much at stake. The semi-finals against Denmark, a team that you'd fancy yourself and fancy us against. And that's the biggest compliment. I think that all the players that are coming on, they're all impacting the game in a positive way. The manager's utilising the squad. He's being able to do that because the quality that's being out there, when he puts a team out there, everyone's justifying their selection.
If you've just tuned in, by the way, Ukraine haven't won.
Yeah.
Just in case you're getting slightly confused by the pictures, but it's still nice to see them applauding their own fans.
But they're hard to play against, and I think that's another thing as well. When you play against a team and you come off the pitch and you get beat by them or whatever, sometimes it can be just a bit of luck or whatever. Yeah. This team, they grind you down, they work you hard, they ask questions of you physically and mentally. Can you deal with us? And they manage every phase of the game. Yeah. And at the end of it, they're potent. And now they're starting to get goals. Goals were the thing we were waiting for. We've been having a couple of decent performances, but now Harry Kane's hit the ground. We all asked for that. And you've got your man scoring now.
Gareth Southgate, what a job he's doing once again at a major tournament. I think I'm right in saying with England getting 5 clean sheets. I don't think it's ever happened in the Euros before. I do believe Italy did it in 1990, kept 5 clean sheets in their opening 5 games of the World Cup. I think it's only the second time it's been done in a major championship. I might be wrong. I think I've read that somewhere. But either way, it is England's biggest ever win at the Euros in the knockout stage, and the first time they've won. Scored 4 goals in a knockout match, apart from in a major tournament.
You're looking at the wrong person.
I'm sorry.
1966, the final. 4-2 in extra time. That took extra time, of course. Let's go through the goals, because they're very pleasurable. We'll do the second half first. Harry Maguire, always a threat at set pieces, obviously, and
Well, we get a set piece right, delivery's right, get on the end of it, put the ball into a dangerous area. He's not offside, and Luke Shaw does exactly that, and that's a clinical header. He gets the wrong side of the defender.
It's a good position from Harry Maguire to start. He's slightly offside, and we worried that he might be offside on a VAR, but as Ukraine stepped back, he remains slightly unattached to anybody, and there's no doubt with him. When that ball's it's got such quality on the delivery, it makes it easy for him.
I've got a feeling he might be the only centre-half, I'm taking another chance here, the only centre-half to score in the quarter-finals of a World Cup and a European Championship. Certainly for England, that's safe, maybe of anyone. But Harry Kane's got his scoring boots back on, although his second one was
yeah, very positive evening all around, and no surprise, gets off the mark again so early, and then this one. Goes through the keeper's legs, but look who's down that touchline again. Luke Shaw, look where he starts from. Got the freedom, got the ability to get up there as he has been doing for most of this
picked him out
tournament.
before the game, Alan. I just give you the credit for that.
Yeah, and so we should pick him out before the game because of his performances. We'll probably pick him out again.
Sterling involved
semi-final
again
because he's been doing that so many times. Get it into that area. He picks Harry out. Harry's free. Hit the target. Goal.
If you get the ball in, Harry Kane scores goals.
I love the way he just holds his ground there at the last moment. You know, great strikers like yourselves know that one. You know where to be in the box. People think it's a magnet. Maybe they think you're lucky that balls keep hitting you, but he just stops himself, loses the defender, no doubts.
Oh, Alan. I mean, please forgive us, but keep putting that graphic up. It's nothing to do with me.
You've been asking the whole half
He has,
to get
hasn't
that
he?
graphic back up.
How many times has he asked? 7, 8?
You know
Where's the
that's
graphic?
Not true. You know that's not true. But either way, he's going to go past it, and hopefully goes past it in this tournament because as he does, that obviously massively increases England's chances.
I wonder what all the Harry Kane doubters are sat there thinking now. You know, when he looked a little bit sluggish in the qualifying games, and there were a few people out there doubting him.
But it does prove, though, if you've got to persevere with quality, haven't you? You've got to persevere with someone who's got the quality and class that he's got. But this is ridiculous. This was a Van Basten moment, 88.
What a goal that would
have been disgusting. But his left foot...
Filth, as they call it.
The confidence to go on to that. That shows you that a game ago, 2 games ago, is he taking that on? I mean, as strikers, are you taking that on?
Well, he had a similar chance, didn't he, at the end of the half? I forget which game it was, where we were disputing whether he should have hit it first time or whether he should have took the touch. It was a poor touch in the end. But you see a different player. You see a player with full of confidence, and we know what that means to a forward, especially of his quality.
The difference is stark, isn't it?
Oh,
it really is.
It's just incredible, the difference.
How it turns.
You can see he's got a spring in his step. In the first minute of this game, he picked the ball up on the left-hand side and he pinged the ball 40 or 50 yards, and you thought, yeah, here we go, that'll do. A minute later, he's put the ball in the back of the net, and it's a different Harry Kane.
I think it was 3 years to the day that Jordan Henderson missed a penalty, didn't he? But he was great. He scored his first England goal as well. Another bonus, Rio.
Yeah, and definitely. I mean, the manager, he shuffled the pack again because when we got ahead and it looked convincing, he couldn't afford to do it. And you bring in on the Liverpool captain who's won the Champions League and the Premier League in the last 2 of the last 3 years, I think it is. And he came on, and again, this is one of the strengths of the side and the squad, is that players come in, the momentum, the pace of the game management doesn't change. It all stays the same. An 18-year-old Benham comes on. It all stays the same, and that is a real strength within this squad.
And considering he was out for quite a few weeks before this tournament, and he's got kind of match fitness during a tournament, it's remarkable how well Harry Maguire has done, Frank.
Yeah, I think there could have been doubts for that because he's a big lad, and I know as a player myself, when you're quite big, sometimes it takes time, and especially at this level. But he's got this certain authority and aura about him in this team. There are always key players in your team. They go, it just looks different when they're there. And from the minute he stepped back into this team, it's looked different.
Look so solid defensively, because most people's concerns were not England going forward, but England going that way.
Yeah, and he brings a composure as well. And I think sometimes the team looks different sometimes when someone wants the ball. He wants to get on the ball and take that responsibility, and it takes the pressure off other players. And other players then think, actually, yeah, the team breathe easier when he's in this team. They do look a stronger team, a stronger unit. He's an organiser. And he looks so comfortable on international football. Some players are better accustomed to maybe club football, some are better accustomed to international football. In international football, in an England shirt, he just looks like a man mountain for me. And I think
and especially the fact that he can come out with the ball in many ways similar to yourself, Rio.
Yeah, and he comes out and he just picks the right passes. And you saw the first game he came back, he was threading the ball through the lines. And a lot of the time he'll go to Luke Shaw, but what he does try and do is come out, bring someone to him and then play the ball. And that's the difference. Some players just pass the ball free and easy. He wants to commit someone, and that's the big difference between him and many other centre-backs.
And he's a leader as well. You can see he's there, and you feel safer when Harry Maguire's around.
He's got the respect of his teammates. They know what he is and what he brings to that team. He brings a stability. And as you say, bearing in mind he missed the first 2 games, and Tyrone Mings did very well when he deputised for him. But he just adds a little bit of leadership, I think, into that team. And with his drive out with the ball, with that passing, we highlighted it a few times over the last week or so, that he can ping that ball, and that gives England the momentum to carry that ball forward.
And when the ball goes off his head, apparently there's a really loud thud. Did you know that England are the first side in European Championship history to score 3 headers in a game? No. Don't you love these stats? Don't you love these stats? England's first goal, I mean, it makes such a difference if you can get an early goal in a game, doesn't it, Frank?
Yeah, it does, because, you know, the tension in these games, quarter-final stage, all eyes are on Harry Kane, particularly for him individually. Great stuff. Things we keep talking about Raheem Sterling, of course we do, because if you're going to commit 3 or 4 players, cut inside, have a team so fearful of you that you drag them towards you, and then you have the ability to execute that pass, reverse pass, those diagonal passes and little sort of diagonal sly little runs in the box from Harry Kane. So difficult to defend, poor defending, but a great technical goal from Harry Kane.
Such a positive evening in so many ways for England.
It's hard to find fault.
No,
really.
You go right throughout the team. Everyone has played their part tonight. Scoring set pieces again, getting an early goal. Harry getting another couple of goals. Henderson getting more minutes and his goal. So many positives to take from tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this many times, and the difference between Harry Kane now and early in the tournament. And you can talk about service as well, which is an important ingredient for any goal scorer. But it's hard to explain, isn't it, the difference a goal makes and the difference to your psyche and even to the freshness of your body and everything.
You just have so much more energy about your player, Gary, and he would have been as worried as anyone when he's not scoring, because goal scoring is an obsession for Harry Kane. For it was for you, it was for myself, and it's horrible when it's not happening. And you feel so much better about yourself. You have so much energy about yourself. You've got a spring in your step. When
you live to score and you score to live.
Would you have lost sleep? Would you have been losing sleep over that?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, he won't sleep tonight again because of the goals he scored. But you lose sleep, absolutely. You're worrying when that next chance is going to come along. And you're really hoping and praying that the ball somehow just goes in off you. Anything, that just to give you that belief again.
And it's really...
And also, the nation, our country, is looking at Harry Kane because he's such a special player to deliver and score the goals to take England forward. And when it doesn't happen, it's not nice. It's a horrible feeling, but he'll be on top of the world again.
Harry Kane, banging in the goals. Very important for England. And it's interesting to carry on that conversation. We're talking about the psyche. You were a midfield player, but you were also a prolific goal scorer. Did it ever bother you when you weren't scoring? Yeah, because you were obsessed as well. Because
it's a sulk.
It was sulk. I mean, you grew up together, didn't you? I've sulk as well.
But I don't think you
blame everyone else.
Yeah, I don't think you can score goals unless you have that feeling in your bones. You know, you're sort of born with that. And you've got to love Harry, haven't you? You've got to love his demeanour, how he goes about himself, his story, his career, loan when he was younger. Now he's this monster of a goal scorer. But I just think that the tough time he's been through now in terms of in front of goal, you start then to rely on the work that you do in the training ground, and all of a sudden you connect with one, and that left foot volley, I can imagine he's taken those sort of things in training. Give me that, I'll take it anywhere. Give me another, I'll take it anywhere. And he scores every kind of goal, connects with every type of finish. And,
did you do that, Frank? Because obviously, when I trained with you with England, obviously when we were kids at West Ham, you used to train. Your work ethic was ridiculous. Always doing extras. And was that almost to get yourself luck at some point? And so when these moments did come along, you'd go back into what you'd done in the training drills, etc.
Yeah, I stepped it up in tough times, and we all had them. You have droughts or you have time. And I then thought money in the bank was the training. The work I did on the training ground. Every kind of finish, you'll miss, you'll get a bit depressed on the training ground. But when you know you have it, which Harry knows he has it, you stay calm, you stay confident, and then they come.
Yeah. What did you do?
Work, practice.
Yeah, same.
That's what you've got to do. You've got to keep that. You've got to keep hitting the back of the net. You've got to keep that belief in your game, because it will change. It's inevitable. He's too good a footballer for it not to change. It was only going to be a matter of time. He needed his manager's patience and needed his manager's trust. And, of course, that was never going to go away, because Gareth's done that with all his players. When they've been through a little bit of a barren spell, he's stuck with them. He's now getting rewards.
Certainly, he's getting rewards from all over the field. Luke Shaw, 2 assists in this game. That's 3 in the tournament, equalling the previous record from an Englishman in a tournament, which was back in Euro 2000. One David Beckham. Fabulous performance from Luke Shaw.
Yeah, listen, he's had a real burst of form. I mean, this season he's been fabulous. His delivery here has been exquisite in this tournament, getting up there. Jermaine mentioned it in commentary. His timing of his runs of getting up there. This comes from just pressure and his desire to win the ball back and numbers in the area, picks his man out there. Jadon will be disappointed he didn't bulge the net there, but even in this area, he had a header similar in the game before, diving in where it's dangerous, bravery, but then it's about execution from set pieces and execution in vital moments of the game. Time and again, gets the opportunity to get forward and then feather foot into the dangerous area. Beautiful delivery.
Yeah. He's bounced back so well, hasn't he, from that awful injury he had. Look, there he is. He's just one behind Steven Zuber in terms of the assists at this tournament. But the way he's bounced back from injury and obviously the issues he had with Mourinho when it didn't work, he's done so well.
He really has. From the outside, something seems to have really clicked with him in the last 18 months. You might know more, Rio, in terms of Manchester United, but I think some things he can't control, the injury stuff, but I think sometimes he wasn't in the best of shape. Now you're watching him, but you always got the feeling that he is a machine. He can do everything you want from him. Now you're just seeing it.
He's just realising the potential that we all saw in him, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes it comes down to maturity. It's not just about footballing ability sometimes. There's more to it. You know that there's so many more components that make up a player, and I think maturity, being at the right place at the right time, having the right management around you, the right staff, the right players, and I think it's all just come together at perfect timing
it's
for
having
him.
people believe in you as well, and having the confidence in you to even if you have one bad game, then it's not the be all and end all. You're not petrified that OK, I've had a bad game, the manager still trusts me. I think he's certainly got that now at both club and country.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Sancho, Jadon Sancho came in. It was a bit of a surprise choice, but I mean, he's got some ability, hasn't he? Cool, blimey.
I'll tell you one thing next season at Man United, he'll have people off their seats.
Yes.
Because there's moments in this game where he draws your breath and you think, oh, wow, that's different. And he's a fabulous talent, we know that, but mentally he's very strong and he's got a desire to be as good as he can be. He wants to fulfil that potential. And here, just players that can up the tempo of a game are different. And they mean something different to your team, and they can change a game the way he does here. Again, you see it, 1-2s, playing with composure off both feet, end product. This is his first game, by the way, in the tournament. And he comes in and plays the way he did today and creates moments like this, and it shows you the talent that's there.
I think there's a natural balance, and as Rio says, acceleration here. Movement. This is not the norm. Unfortunately for England now in our squad, we have a few players of this. There's these incredible talents in an attacking area, but completely vindicates Gareth's decision to play him today because of what he brought. He wanted a bit of something more direct. He wanted a right foot. He wanted someone off the side. He turned up coming inside a lot as well. And as Rio says, the maturity for a young kid to come in and show it in a game of this level says a lot about his mentality as well. We've got a special player coming to the Premier League.
They've got special players that are not in the side, haven't you? You've got Foden, you've got Grealish as well.
Rashford, Mount. I mean, another tick for Gareth because we were discussing again. He's come up with another formation. He's reverted back to the 4 at the back. He's put in Sancho, and Saka might have had it looks like he's had an injury, but all his decisions again have worked perfectly. There's always a discussion. Grealish should he's not influenced by anything that's going on outside of the camp. He's making all the decisions and he's making all the right decisions.
Yeah. They're very impressive young men, aren't they? A lot of these English players. They handle themselves very well, both on and off the pitch. You know, real credit to themselves and our sport.
Yeah, definitely. And we were saying here, I don't remember any of us talking with such clarity after a game.
You still don't.
You set yourself up there.
Gazza used to be quiet.
Gazza, but you know what? It's like they come out and they talk like they've actually analysed the game completely. We used to give the bog standard answer and just back questions off, and we saw the media as more or less enemies than anything. We thought they're there to trip us up, and that's it. But they show an intelligence and they show integrity with the way they speak, and I think it's credit to them, the management and the way that they come out there and just talk with openness.
I also think there are really good stories throughout this squad. You know, Jordan Henderson had a tough time earlier in his career. Maybe people doubted him. You look at Harry Maguire scores come through in the Championship. You can go right through the squad. Harry Kane had loans when he was younger. We were talking about it before, didn't we? It brings a certain humility to them when they speak. They're delighted to be here, but they also now look like they understand that they're good enough to be here and they can win this.
Big characters.
And they're really working out. I think it was an example. Certainly in the second half, the pressing continued right to the end, didn't it? You know 4-0 up. And
you know, when you consider the amount of football that some of these players have played over such a long season that they had, for them to still have this energy, for them to still have this attitude about they're winning the game comfortably.
This was in the last couple of minutes.
You could just take the foot off the gas a little bit, and you wouldn't blame them if they did. But look at the way they're all going at it. He's made substitutions. There's fresh legs on there, but they're still in tune. They're still trying to press and hem them in there and win that ball back and go and get more goals. And that is such a positive for England.
That's a culture that he's created there. That's a culture of listen, we're not going to take our foot off the pedal. We've all been in teams where you've been 4-0 up and you start showboating. There weren't one bit of showboating within this team. No. There's a culture, there's an attitude now within this team that is very serious about winning.
It's a huge advantage as well, isn't it, for England to be able to bring on players in the game. Anyone can bring on players, but to have the same kind of level of player that's already on the pitch, or such. Foden, Grealish didn't get a kick tonight, but you know that. And I saw Gareth at the end hugging Jack Grealish, just probably saying, "I'm going to need you at some point. I'm going to need you in the semi, maybe the final."
Yeah, there's no doubt this is a strong squad. It's a strong squad, and we're seeing that game after game. I think the enthusiasm that Jordan Henderson brought on, and it's not easy when you get to 30 plus. It is 30 plus. It's not easy because if you're not playing and you were the man, and now you're looking at Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, like you could easily come on and kind of go, I'm not playing. He came on with incredible enthusiasm, and that there is not. We talk a lot about tactical structure before the game. Those clips have nothing to do with that. They're what Rio said. That's culture. That's intention. That's desire to run. And at the minute they're in great nick. They're really ready to go.
Yeah, they look great. Raheem Sterling again didn't score, didn't add to his total of 3 goals, but he had the important assist with the first goal and contributed to 1 or 2 of the others as well.
That's important. He's contributing. Sometimes you haven't got to be the star man, or you haven't got to be the glitz and glamour all the way through the game, but the key moments are coming up in the games, and he's the man who's actually taking the stage and saying, it's me, I'm going to do it. And this was early in the game. He creates the chance for the goal, the assist, provides it. And there's what I like about him, you don't really speak about much. How many games has he missed, really, for injury? He's robust, he's strong, pound for pound, in strength-wise, you put him up there. But again, it's the maturity of which he's playing, and he's not like he's 30-odd years old at the moment, but he plays like that the way at the moment, and it's great to see.
He's got a fantastic attitude, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That he wants to succeed, that hunger. His manager obviously gives him that because he believes in him and he sticks with him. And he's without doubt, he's repaying him now. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you're seeing a player full of confidence now. You're seeing a player who's having such an impact on games, on every game that he's playing now. He didn't get his goal tonight, but he contributed in so many other ways.
Fans enjoyed it. A few fans that got there.
Yeah, I think the scary thing about this England team is that there'll be other teams who are waiting now in this competition who will be watching this game. And the scary thing for them is that they play tonight like they're a team with more in the tank. There's more to come from them. It's almost like they're purring and just waiting to really put their foot to the floor.
Is there a case where we're getting a little bit carried away? People say it's only Ukraine, they only just qualified. But in other countries, will they be looking and going, I'm not sure about England, or will they genuinely fear England, do you feel? Let's just show that. Well, we know what the semi-finals are, Italy against Spain.
Why
England played Denmark. Interesting, though, all 4 of the semi-finalists played all 3 of their games in the group stage at home. And they've all ended up in the semi-finals.
You know what? When you think about it as a team, it's all right, you can say it's going to be difficult, this, that. When I look at it from a defender's perspective, if I'm on an opposing team now...
What would you be thinking?
If I'm thinking it's going to be difficult, whoever they put out their front 3, like today, Sancho, Sterling, Kane, very difficult. Loads of different factors that make it difficult for a defender. The more frightening thing is, at 75 minutes, when he decides to make a change or whenever it is, who else is coming off that bench? You saw Rashford come off the bench today. You don't want that.
Bellingham was superb in the game.
But I'm talking attacking areas. You don't want Grealish. You don't want Foden. No. These guys are giving you problems left, right and centre. That is the strength within this team, the depth. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's not just forward areas. We're talking about wing backs. You know, Trent's at home. We spoke to him at half-time. We've got Reece James sitting there. We've got Trippier, who might have a little bit of a knock. Ben Chilwell won the Champions League a month or so ago, sitting there not played a game yet. The strength is something we should be really excited about.
Yeah. Why shouldn't we get carried away? We've been locked up for 18 months. This is what we asked for.
Do you know why? In case it goes wrong.
You are the biggest pessimist I've seen, seriously, between us. It's unbelievable.
I was too young for it in '66 to ever watched it. I've watched every every tournament since then, and it's always ended up in despair. It's the hope that kills you.
This feels different, Gary. This feels different. There's something here.
I'll be optimistic. I'll do my very best. Do my very best. Who's he going to play? Who's he going to play? Like, you know, because everyone's differing opinion. It doesn't really matter that much, does it, to the performance, because the level of the players is...
No, because we all have belief in the manager. After the first game or the second game, there were still people saying, oh, OK, we've got to be more on the front foot. We've got to attack more. There's no point in playing those two sitting midfielders. Those two sitting midfielders have been magnificent in most games. And then what that allows the players ahead to do is to go and express themselves, whether that's Grealish when he comes on, whether that's Sancho today or Sterling that it's been, or Harry Kane. That's why he's playing it. So I don't think it really matters, because he's got so many options and they all seem to be on form and enjoying their football at the right time. Very positive. It's been a great night. I feel as if they're growing and getting better with every game. Yeah, something special is happening, and roll on Wednesday.
It's going where?
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I'll leave it to Rio. He'll give you the special words.
Well, Rio's super confident, so that's why I wanted to finish with Rio.
I am super confident, and this team just made me feel kind of relaxed. So I'll just sit back in my chair and just let you take it away, Gary.
Thank you very much.